I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit.
I'm tired of all this fucking shit.
God, I'm so tired. God damn it. Oh my god. Somebody kill me. Oh my god. But before you kill me, welcome back to the 2 a.m. podcast, episode 47.
Yes.
Live from the stew.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, we are back for another
We
groundbreaking.
are back
We are back.
to save the
Yeah.
day.
If you guys want to hear something crazy, we haven't left the stew in about a week now, since the last episode.
7 days trapped in this little room.
Yeah. Showering has not been great.
No. Not a lot of water.
Yeah, you smell like shit, Logan.
Yeah, well, look who's talking.
Take a fucking shower.
Come on, get your shit together, Zaid. Jesus.
I will.
For
I'll
real.
try to.
These people expect you to smell good. And me.
Expect me to smell like lavenders and
Roses.
I mean, at this point, we're aiming for Axe body spray, but whatever makes you feel any better.
This shit
fucking
reminds me of
despise
seventh grade.
Axe.
Just right after freaking half a mile.
I never had Axe body spray. I don't think I ever got it.
Really?
No.
I've tried it a
Wow.
couple
Never.
times.
You want to know why? I just used normal ass deodorant, and then I took a
Oh, see-
birdie shower.
Okay, so what's normal deodorant to you?
Just like a stick.
Yeah, a little stick. Oh,
Like a normal Arm & Hammer.
Yeah,
Or
I
Arm
never
& Hammer,
understood
like
spray.
I mean, for me, it's always been, what do they call it? Old Spice.
The
Yeah.
Essentials.
Yeah. For a long time, I
Commercials.
used Fiji by Old Spice. It smells amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think they should turn it into a candle. If anything else, it'd be one of their highest selling products. Just saying.
Yeah.
But for a long time after that, it was their Swagger brand, which didn't really smell like anything notable. It just smelled better than you smelling like shit.
Than
And then
you
I think
smelling
now
like shit.
I think I now use the Sport Clean or whatever it is.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Aluminum free, so I don't get any cancer or whatever that shit is.
Yeah, man.
Axe body spray is just like, it's just a nuke. Just destroys
Yeah,
you.
it's terrible, isn't it? For your pores and
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So. Also horrible for the environment.
cancer in a spray can.
If you want to be that guy, they're horrible for the environment. Just because any aerosol spray
Yeah.
is super bad for the ozone.
Yeah, the thing is,
Oh,
if we're-
please.
Talk about
No,
deodorant.
I'm serious though. That's
I-
actually a thing.
I don't trust sunblock either, like sunscreen.
This man,
Especially the freaking.
You want to talk about somebody who doesn't
yeah,
trust
this
sunblock.
man absolutely abhors sunblock.
Bro, I'm pretty sure there's probably some good ones out there. They're just a lot more pricey.
Some natural ones, yeah.
Yeah, but that spray on shit. Every time someone pulls it out, I was like, "Hey, dude, you want some spray?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good.
I'm not a bitch.
Like, I'd rather
sorry.
burn, honestly."
Neutrogena has some pretty
mean,
legit shit.
I had
so.
the option to put sunscreen on
Yeah,
like past couple days in Utah, but I refused.
yeah.
I refused.
Don't. Good. I don't trust that shit.
My hero.
The American hero.
There goes my hero. Oh man, dude, what the hell's been? Oh, apparently there's a fire today near my house.
Really?
Yeah, my house is all ashy right now, which is crazy.
Hasn't there been one?
Like my knees?
Well, I mean, over the years, yeah, but no, this is today.
Oh, so just today it started
Yeah, I
up.
just get a message saying that, yo, your house is on fire. I'm like, oh shit.
Yo, that's not great.
Sucks. Yeah, I'm
Leave.
kidding. Sucks. I can't clock out.
Gotta
No.
pay me overtime. I got no other option.
Yeah. No, but it's a little distance, but still, it's kind of crazy that the ashes still fall, even if it's like 15 miles away.
If it's windy, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, just think about how crazy it's going to be when a Yellowstone pops off. Literally, when
Well, we're not
going to
be alive for that.
I think the majority of the planet won't be alive
Yeah.
for that.
If that thing blows, we're done.
It will
What's,
carry ash around the entire
Oh, the Yellowstone volcano.
surface of the globe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is fucking nuts.
hmm And for hundreds of miles around it, you're just dead. There's no chance.
The Earth's largest pimple has popped, and we
Literally.
have been destroyed because of it.
Mount St.
That is
Helens.
that's so funny. Earth's pimple.
It is.
Before
never heard
that,
that.
it was Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
Remember when that popped?
Oh,
well,
that
I
was
mean, we can't
crazy.
remember.
Yeah,
We're too
we're too young.
or not even born.
Yeah.
But
You see pictures from it though.
one of my science teachers from 6th grade had like a little jar of it. I'm like, oh, where'd you get that? Like near the site? And she's like, no, in my backyard.
What the hell?
From Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ash.
Spread ash all over the
And
place.
she was in
Holy
Orange County
shit.
at the time.
I think so, if I remember correctly. I don't think Orange County specifically, but she was in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is Mount St. Helens?
Washington? Let me check.
Yes, please.
Mount St. Helens.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, I was right. Yeah, it's in Washington.
This guy's gonna be typing away the whole podcast.
You know, I like it because at least we can fact check ourselves.
Very true.
Or I can call you out on your bullshit. But like, here,
Also very true.
Jamie, yeah, pull up that picture.
look at that. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Sorry for our viewers that are wondering what we're looking at. We're looking at a picture of Mount St.
Now you see,
Helens
that's either a
exploding.
pimple coming out of the earth, or that's
Yeah.
one of the Earth's anuses.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up in the video for sure.
Just spewing
Yeah.
ash.
Just do a little
Yeah.
on the screen for him. But oh
There we
my
go.
God, when Yellowstone goes, that's going to be scary. And scientists think it's going to be sooner rather than later, which is still like
They've been
couple
saying that
hundred-
for like 100 years.
I know, but they say it's within the next 100 to 200.
Wow.
Which I mean, like, I know you go like, whoa, but that's that's like our kids, potentially grandkids.
Okay, what the fuck am I gonna do? If it blows, it blows.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
It's like the
not
big.
everything's about you, Zayd.
Oh please! It's like the earthquake that we all fear in California, the big one.
The San
That
Andreas
one's-
fault.
That one's actually estimated to go off in about 20 to 50 years. Though.
I don't trust that
Yeah.
estimation.
I don't trust the estimation either. I think it's before.
Oh, you think it's sooner?
I think it's never going to happen.
I think it's right now. Just kidding. oh God. Not the stew.
Everyone under the table.
But
just
one table.
The IKEA table is going to
Just
stay.
recently-
Damn it,
with-
Logan.
Within
There's
the
no
past,
room.
within the past few days, there have actually been small earthquakes around the San Andreas, so they've been concerned. They're like, "Oh shit,
Oh.
the big one
That's
might be
been going
coming."
off for the past couple months, though.
Yeah, true.
That's equivalent
Which
to
is why
pre-cum.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah, but
I call that the pre-cum
the
of
thing,
earthquakes.
the
little earthquakes around the San Andreas.
just a little warning shot here.
Oh, better be prepared. 20
But
years.
the thing Californians should really be terrified about is called the Cascadia earthquake. So
Whoa.
basically, in case you were wondering what that is,
It's an EDM artist.
it's a so it only the last time it happened
Boom,
was in
so hard.
Damn fool, this earthquake bums.
yo, this bass slaps.
Yo, dude. Yo, this earthquake smacks.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, the ground's literally shaking.
Anyways, you were saying.
The last one that happened was, it says the 1700 Cascadia earthquake occurred along the Cascadia subduction
Wait,
zone.
is that spelled with a K or a C?
C.
Okay.
Imagine a K.
And was estimated to have a magnitude of 8.7 to 9.2.
That ain't shit, bro.
What?
Fuck you say?
I'm just joking.
That ain't shit.
Of course it's shit.
Bro, you know what ain't shit? Zayd.
Anything above
Yeah, we just
He just
paused.
ignores that. He's like, I am
Yeah.
shit. But anything above.
anything above a 7 for an earthquake is just
Yeah.
fuck your life.
It's,
Fuck your life.
it's chaos.
Whoa.
The craziest videos to me, have you seen videos of earthquakes where you can actually see the earth, like you can see the waves traveling through the earth,
No.
like on the surface, so it literally looks like the land is going like this
Oh,
Yeah.
in certain parts. Like if there's no asphalts or like any man-made stuff, it'll literally just look like the world is going like this.
It looks like a SoundCloud song.
Dude, I swear to God, the last earthquake I experienced,
Yeah.
I think I was in my backyard sunbathing. Of course.
Of course you
What
would.
the fuck else am I
is
doing
new?
with my
That's like
life?
majority of his time.
Jesus.
And
And you
li-
experienced every earthquake.
Literally, I literally thought, I genuinely thought that this was the big one because it kept going. It went on for like 15 to 25 seconds.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit.
That's a
Yeah.
long one.
I'm in my boxers here.
It's
The
actually
big one's
crazy.
striking.
Because time goes by slower during an earthquake. It could be like a 5-second earthquake and it'll feel like a good 30 seconds, right?
You're just
Yeah.
like that the whole time.
Well,
and
it
then
feels like-
usually if it feels short, it's an aftershock.
True.
Yeah.
I would agree. The thing that I think my dad was in an earthquake in the 70s or the like late 70s or the 80s, and he's like, I was in the shower when that shit.
Oh my god, dude.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, dude.
Completely naked in the shower.
No.
And all of a sudden, your entire apartment, he's like, it felt like the whole building moved left and right by like 6 or 8 feet, just like getting
Yeah.
thrown around in this little building.
It's either that or it was an intense ass shower, dude.
That water pressure is next
Yeah.
level.
I got a new shower
Apartment building. None of this low flow shit. It's just high
I got a new
velocity.
shower head. It says pressure point 4.0
the
magnitude.
king of shower heads.
4.0 magnitude shower head, bro. What a selling point.
Oh my god. Creates an earthquake every time he turns that bitch on.
Power washer has its own generator and shit. For shower head. Oh man.
I think one of the biggest earthquakes of all time, since we're on the subject, just because I wanted to give you an idea of what it would look like or what it would be like. The last 9.2 that happened for the U.S. was in Alaska. And just to give you a little bit of information, Said will pull up a picture for you
Yeah.
for the video podcast on YouTube. Check us out, officially 2 a.m. But it looked like this.
Yeah, it just looks like destruction to me.
The earth is sunken into the ground by 10 to 12 feet right there.
Wow.
Oh,
Is that
shit.
nothing to you?
No, it just looks like a clusterfuck of material.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like there's an upper level now.
Like I can't see any depth
top
to
right.
that
It
picture.
looks like there's an upper
Yeah,
level.
dude. But even though it was just leveled. Before.
This is level right here. This is how much the ground sunk in during
which
the
is
earthquake
freaking crazy.
in Alaska.
That's wild.
Nuts.
Honestly, out of all the natural disasters, I think tsunamis are
Tsunamis
what
dude, there's
really
no way out
scare
of it.
me.
Yeah, there's no way out of it, dude. You
Here's-
cannot fuck with the ocean.
Here's another reference image for you.
Oh yeah, it's just trees are basically
The
upside
ground
down.
the ground is jagged all over the place. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
looks like a goddamn Call of Duty map or Halo map.
Kind of, actually.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Sorry,
Dang,
what were you
dude.
saying a second ago?
What was I saying?
I don't know. You said it.
I said it?
You said it. Came from your mouth.
No, I didn't say anything. I was just commenting on this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
The hell?
I apologize.
Not
Oh, we were
port-
talking about tsunamis actually.
Oh, tsunamis.
Tsunamis.
There
That's
you
what we're
go.
talking
you-
about.
So my regards to tsunamis. Yeah, you can't control the ocean.
no.
It is what it is. It's gonna happen, right? See, with earthquakes, I like it because it's kind of like I like it. But
What?
I like it.
Jesus.
Rick and Morty fans, everyone knows. Yeah, at least it's like with an earthquake, it's just flat ground moving, right?
Mhm.
And it can destroy buildings and things.
Tell that to Haiti.
Yeah, but think about.
Tell that to Chile.
Well, I mean, come on, dude.
Well,
Tell that
you're
to-
saying it's
Tell that to all the people who have died
Yeah,
in
but I'm saying
earthquakes.
the percentage of things being fine after, besides losing your home or whatever, is okay. Like you still have your life, right? With a tsunami, if you see a tsunami,
Here's
Dude.
the key.
Here's the difference.
you're not walking anymore. First of all, you're
Go-
swimming.
Just go to higher ground. if
No,
you
no, no.
can, if
Here's the
it's possible.
difference.
Yeah, like Big Bear.
With an earthquake, it depends on the situation, but a lot of times you don't even have to move. It'll just stop. But with a tsunami, if you're right there, you have to run.
No, don't even run.
You have to
Just
try to do
accept that you're
something.
dying right now.
Jesus.
Honestly, dude, if you
This is the type of guy to stand in front of a tsunami.
He said, if you see a tsunami right there, start running. There's no way.
He's just gonna be
okay,
like
well,
open arm.
when you're talking about a tsunami, it's not really like the wave per se, right? Because when we think of a tsunami, we think of like 150-foot high wave just annihilating landscape. No, it's what they mostly are is just a vast rushing inwards of water towards land, right?
Yeah.
Because that's usually caused by an earthquake, which causes like eruption in the ocean. This wave is built, or a wave, I guess you could say, is building, and water needs to rush out to sea in order to fuel that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes in, it's just an enormous influx of water returning towards where it used to be. So it's a lot to handle, and it's absolutely terrifying. To watch any of the videos from Japan, that shit is scary. It's sending tankers onto the land, like just cruising. If you've seen video of the coast where it happened.
Or Indonesia,
Crazy.
right?
Indonesia, I think, had one as well.
Yeah, they had a gnarly one.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Here's why I think earthquakes are a little bit scarier. You could be miles inland,
Mm-hmm.
and you could get hit and you're totally screwed.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're in a tsunami, it's primarily going to stay near the coastal region, I would imagine, right? You could be in the mountains and there's an earthquake that just pops off and you're like, we're all fucked.
That's what I was thinking
Anywhere.
when I was in Zion. I was like, what if an earthquake pops off right now?
Is Zion over a fault line?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so
it's just
either.
a
No. But
random
it's just
thought.
it's Rock County, kind of.
Just a lot of rock.
Yeah.
Just a lot
A
of
lot of rock.
boulders.
A lot of Barack. Oh, man.
Since we're talking about weather phenomenons, what was that? What was that thing you saw earlier about the records being set? So Zayd pulls up this
The
article,
hell?
right? And he's just laughing immediately, and I'm like, "What are you reading?" And he says, "The Middle East set some records for, or the Middle East got surprisingly hot and set records." And we're like, "Oh, tell us something
What
we
the
don't."
fuck else is new?
Yeah, is the sky blue? Like, does the cow go moo? But like,
So-
what was the records?
So in Baghdad, on Monday they hit 123 degrees Fahrenheit. As if that wasn't bad enough.
Fry an egg on the sidewalk, kind of.
On Wednesday, they hit 124.
Wow.
And these people have if they have AC, they have very shitty AC.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they're forced to stay indoors. Vendors who try to sell stuff cannot do anything. They have to stay in the shade. It's
Damn.
just
Yeah, what do you even do if it's like? Imagine being in California, right? It gets hot here, but not that hot.
Yeah,
Like-
for us, hot is like boiling hot is 98.
Depends where you're at in California, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you go to Palm Springs, boiling is like 105, 109.
Yeah.
something
Or if you
like
go
that.
to Death Valley, I think it's actually hotter than that. I think the world record for hottest recorded temperature
It was
on the planet,
137.
and I think it was in Death Valley.
Yeah, I think.
Let me, you know what?
look it up.
Call,
Look it up,
Jamie
Jamie.
on the.
Jamie on the track. No, I'm just kidding.
But you're right though. Like, what are they supposed to do?
you can't
in a
do anything.
situation
You
like
you just have to chill and just weather the storm. It's the same thing if you're in a blizzard.
Yeah,
Extremely cold temperature.
There's certain hours to avoid though, and I believe that's 11 to 3. 11 to 3.
Yeah, and that kind of heat,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
Because when I
not.
used to live in Qatar,
Qatar,
Qatar for you people,
for you
Cater-
white people.
catered for white people.
yeah, it got really freaking hot, and to the point where it was just like the government was like, it's dangerous, and we're not gonna insure people that are dying that are working in construction and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, it is illegal to work from 11 to 2.
Illegal.
Wow.
Yeah. If you're caught, you're
White
It's
shit.
so hot.
statement.
It's illegal.
Yeah, dude, because people were dying. Like people
Well,
would
that
die
makes
on a
sense,
crane
yeah.
and then fall to his death too.
Oh,
Like from heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Imagine
That is a rough way to go.
man wasn't
Yeah.
drinking enough coconut water. Clearly,
Jesus Christ. Nah, dude, it sucked because he had the option to drink water, but it was only Dasani, so like
Is that Arrowhead?
you had to risk that dehydration. You know what I'm saying?
he didn't even die of heat exhaustion. He just saw Dasani and just jumped off the
Yeah,
crane.
he just died of Dasani. He saw Dasani, jumped off.
Fuck this.
Fuck this.
The hottest, according to the WMO, the World Meteorological Organization.
That's a thing.
Apparently so. The highest recorded temperature on Earth was 56.7 degrees Celsius for our international listeners, 134.1 degrees Fahrenheit for us Yanks.
So 134 is the max.
134 is the highest. It was recorded in, of all places, Furnace Creek. Furnace Creek Ranch, California, which is in the Death Valley Desert.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bomb ass ranch if Death Valley fucking.
Meanwhile,
produced
David Goggins is just running in that weather. Just screw it.
catch him out in some shorts,
it. Yeah.
some nice Hoka shoes.
You gotta stop relying on motivation.
What the hell?
You got to
Yeah,
stop relying on motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh, you
rely
mean
on discipline.
Well, isn't discipline just internal motivation?
Nope, big difference.
There's no such thing as momentum. You create your own momentum by doing this 24/7, 7 day a week. I keep going. I've been running for 4 days now.
No water, no stopping.
No stopping whatsoever. Bacon who? Toss that chicken in my mouth. Get some protein. Running on 5 days. Woo! All right, Goggins. We get it.
We get it, bro.
The domino effect.
This is the second episode where I'm crying, bro.
Bring up anything with Tony Goggins or David Goggins. Hoppins. Moppins. Whatever the hell you want.
What was I saying?
I don't know. What were you saying?
No, we're talking about the hottest or the highest heat recorded in Baghdad. 123, 124.
It's not Baghdad.
Where was it?
It's Baghdad.
Baghdad.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Actually,
Pardon me. Pardon my American.
yeah. Stupid.
My English.
Anyways, this actually ties into another subject we want to speak on.
Yes.
Are you a believer in global warming?
Why'd you
I'm a
laugh when you
believer-
said that?
About
Because the way he was looking at me.
am I a believer in global warming?
Do you believe that global warming is happening or is occurring?
Let's just say we should take this as a global warning because global warming is truly
How the fuck did you bring this into the equation,
it's
bro?
very real.
I forgot this thing existed.
I mean, I'm looking right at it, dude. Yeah, global warming is very real and very like we don't pay enough attention to it.
No.
We just watch videos of Bill Nye saying, "Yo, stop with the bullshit."
No, the Earth
know?
is on fucking
Fire,
fire.
you fucking imbeciles. You know.
Even though Bill
It's
Nye
hard
is
to-
the last guy to listen to.
No offense, Bill Nye, Mr. Science guy. I'm not disagreeing with him.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's really hard for me to take a lot of things that he says seriously in some regard, considering the fact that I don't believe he's a scientist. I
He's
think he got his
not.
degree in engineering.
Yeah, he's not.
He's just a science, what's the word?
Enthusiast,
I guess so, or it's a scientific
researcher,
talker, or
talker.
explainer.
speaker.
There's a word for it.
Like when Neil
I don't
deGrasse
blank on it.
Tyson speaks about astronomy, we listen to him.
Yeah, because he practices it and studies it every day. That's
Bill
his,
Nye's just a TV personality, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, he quite literally.
Bill
is.
Nye's he's like a multi-adapter. You can just plug in anything and he'll just kind of know something about it. Think about that. He's a multi.
Can you do an impersonation of Bill Nye?
How do you do an impersonation of Bill Nye? He's
I have
not
no
like
idea.
that.
I don't know.
Random.
Yeah,
of a
he's
character.
not
He doesn't
like-
have like
he's not
a funny
notable, like
voice
he's-
or like.
He has kind of a funny voice to me.
I think he just sounds like a
Well,
guy.
why don't you do
like-
an imitation
I
of Bill
can't.
Nye?
I
Oh,
can't.
why is that?
Because I'm not good at imitations. Good at being myself.
I don't know, you
not
don't
imitating other
Because
people.
There's not that much to imitate.
You know who Bill
Probably.
Nye reminds me of? Jordan Peterson. In a slight way.
I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think so.
I'm
No.
on the same page as Zayd.
All right. What page is that, huh?
I feel
It's
like
page 76 of Jordan Peterson's latest book.
I am not Bill Nye.
It's the lobsters. We
lobsters.
have to talk about the lobsters in the hierarchy.
The
my God.
lobsters.
Well, what about global warming?
So-
yeah, I am a believer in it.
So the main reason we wanted to talk about global warming in the first place is to see
it's
if it-
hot as hell. In here.
Yeah, it's hot as shit. Baghdad, record temperatures. When I was in Paris, it was during a record-breaking heat wave.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything seems to be getting hotter, but how bad is it really?
And colder.
Mm.
And colder and certain. That's why instead of global warming, it's just climate change. So we wanted to do a deep dive and see if we could figure any of this out. Reasons as to why
Yeah.
this might be happening, any changes, or are there ways to fix it, is how we wanted to end it.
Mhm.
My assumption is just because it's not getting worse immediately doesn't mean that it won't
Continue.
like progress into even faster over the years, right? So it won't just stay at the same rate of time. I'm pretty sure it can grow faster
Here's the thing.
over the years, right?
The Earth is one large ecosystem.
Okay.
Okay. It is based on balance. So if you fuck up the balance in any way, one thing will lead to another, then to another, then to another, and then you just have imbalance. It can flip. It can flip very quickly. That's my point.
Okay.
All right, so let's discuss that theory.
I'm
So-
discussing it. Let's go.
So, we're on a little website, not very well known, NASA.gov, or more specific, if you want to look it up at home, climate.nasa.gov/evidence/. So
Save
look
that.
it up. We'll put a link in the description down below. So
Psych.
now we will. I'll send the link.
The hell?
Yeah, why do you got to be that way, Zay?
Sorry.
God,
Let me just be me, bro.
yo,
Go on.
Don't be mean to the viewers though.
Yeah, asshole.
I love my viewers.
They're the whole reason we do this. Other
like-
than it's a lot of fun.
Just cuss him out and say psych. Fucking piece of shit.
So
Psych.
I'll have Saeed pop this up onto the screen when
Gotcha.
we're editing this, so y'all can see. But according to this graph right here,
Mhm.
this is the carbon dioxide level parts per million within the atmosphere.
Wow.
This is 800,000 years ago, or roughly so.
Mm.
Now, you're like, okay, how the hell do they have evidence of this? The majority of the evidence found in order to determine the ice level or the CO2 parts per million level are found in ice caps and ice in Antarctica, and that's how they get an estimate because there's varying levels of carbon dioxide found at different depths, which will give you the age of when they landed there, right? So 800,000 years ago, pretty low, big spike, drops back down, big spike around 700,000, drops down, big spike around 600,000, drops down, and it kind of carries out. Every 100,000 years, or roughly every 100,000 years, there's a large spike in CO2 in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Now, Zayd and I were like, what the hell is the reason for that? Turns out there's a whole system of global cooling that's been going on, and then in order to heat it back up, all that CO2 goes into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it's in the atmosphere, clouds out the sky, cools everything down, then it dissipates, then we go back to normal, right? It's kind of how the Earth has just been operating for the past roughly 800,000 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when you get over here, we're in the 100,000 range now. It drops down a lot. And this is where humans start to make an appearance, right? So the 50,000 BC, or what is it, before BCE, before Common Era, some people like to say. It's dropping down a lot. Then all of a sudden, somewhere right around here, which I'm going to guesstimate is 2,000 to 3,000 BC, the CO2 climbs rapidly, very rapidly. So much in case that it's actually kind of terrifying. It almost looks as if there's like a global event, like a cooling thing that's happening. But what it actually is...
Are you talking about 1950? That part?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
But it looks like there's a rapid expansion. That's human intervention coming into the frame. And just from the time it crosses into the year 0, it's high again, right? And then roughly around the late 1700s, or the mid 1700s, industrial-ish revolution kicking off. We have a bunch of machinery creating a lot of smoke, a lot of coal power, a lot of stuff like that. The CO2 is running rampant in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's insane because what they're putting into the atmosphere is purely uncut, unfiltered CO2 right up in there. So a lot of pollution is happening, even though it's on a small scale compared to today, right? Then right around here is probably like the 20s, 30s, and 40s when we started switching over to, sorry, not the 20s and 30s. This is probably like mid 1800s to late 1800s. Started using cleaner shit.
Yeah.
Cleaner than coal, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a
they're
lot of bad
progressing.
things like lead gasoline and all that other stuff, which
Yeah.
is not great.
It's progressing.
But then we hop into the 1950s, which is right here. And according to the chart, which you can all go back and pause and look at, it's just a vertical climb.
Just a straight fucking line.
It's like almost vertical. It's off by like maybe a half a degree.
Bro, that's a
Yeah.
straight.
And that's the climb. So before like the 30s, right? CO2 levels never really crossed above 300 parts per million for carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is really science heavy. I trust you gets better. I apologize. I know I have to be the bummer here, or the boring guy. So the CO2 around the 20s is at the 300 parts per million.
Yeah.
Already crossing that threshold. In the 50s, it's at 325 or 320 roughly. Then from there, we jump to the current level today, which is 412 parts per million, roughly.
Oof.
So we're 112 parts per million over what the global average has been for the past 800,000 years.
Which is the majority of the lifespan of Earth.
I think Earth is 4.6 billion years old, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because before that, we don't really have a means to keep track of it. It was so damn hot and molten. I guess in terms of history, we can somewhat keep track
Yeah,
of.
but in a graph form, that's majority. Majority of it is pretty consistent.
For what we are able to record.
Listen,
Yes.
to all the climate change deniers, it's not that far-fetched of an idea that the very species that is dominating the planet and producing CO2 is making things worse. climate-wise?
right?
Is
Yeah.
that such a big fucking concept to understand? Is that difficult to understand?
No.
Look at how many cars we use.
Yeah.
Look at how much shit we do on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like, of course that's going to have some impact on our climate.
Of course. You can already see it in the skies.
Yeah, look at the smog around cities.
That's
It's
just
disgusting.
and that's just a visual.
Yeah.
So I think we remember during the first couple of weeks of quarantine when the sky was, we didn't even
Yes.
know it could get that clear.
Like that blew over LA. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
It was wild.
Dude, that was like taken on a freaking extra sharp Android phone. That's how it looked.
Mm.
Like there was no
Like Google
haze
Pixels
whatsoever.
when-
Yeah. It was just like someone
know.
plastered a background on that bitch, you know?
That's true. It did look like it was like fake.
Yeah.
It looked like they cropped out the background. They just
Mhm.
put an even clearer
Yeah,
sky. but-
exactly. Just a blue gradient. Oh.
Yeah, I
But
wish we could go back to that.
but
Yeah.
we were looking at that chart, right, of the CO2 and stuff like that. That's not good. We can
No.
we can outright say that's really not good.
Yeah, and why is that though?
Why is that though? So let's jump into that, right? We have a couple more reasons as to why that's not good, and they're all listed. The evidence for rapid climate change is compelling, and then there's a bunch of different articles they list on the same website. For example, just to name a few, global temperature rise. It's risen about 1.62 degrees Fahrenheit or 0.9 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right when we started dumping massive amounts of CO2 into the
Mhm.
air. Oceans have been warming, increasing the heat. So, we'll get to that later. Sorry, oceans are warming, which would cause ice to melt. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
So, since there's an experiment in Greenland where it proved an average of 286 billion tons of ice were lost between 1993 and 2016 every year,
Damn.
Shit.
which that would increase to global sea level rising, which it's risen about 8 inches in the last century. 100 years, it's risen 8 inches. And you're like, oh, well, who the fuck did that?
Now, here's the thing. What was that? Did Al Gore make a documentary a while back?
The something truth.
From what I remember, he had some shitty predictions.
The unknown.
Oh, yeah, he
Like
had
the
really-
models
he had-
were just wrong.
Yeah, he was pretty off for a lot of that stuff. It's the something truth, and I'm trying to remember. Come on, internet.
Al Gore, thank you for creating the internet.
Thank you for Al Gore creating the environment. Oh, an inconvenient truth. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And his predictions were so wrong, I'm pretty sure he had to make a second one.
Mhm.
Imagine failing so fucking hard that you have to remake a documentary.
The original one came out in 2006, and I think they said the Earth was supposed to be underwater in like 20 years, basically,
Mhm.
or the majority of cities, to the point where it'd be almost impossible to live on most plots of land. It's 2020, 14 years later. The Earth is not underwater. And then in 2017, he made an inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power. And I did not watch that one, so I don't know anything about it.
Mhm.
But he does have validity.
He has some
obviously-
valid points.
Ocean levels are rising, as we've already said, 8 inches. There's extreme weather events. We've already talked about some.
Mhm.
Record-breaking heat waves. Very interesting climate stuff happening in tropical regions. A lot of crazy storms. We had a hurricane in Houston. All over Florida. Our hurricane seasons are getting wilder every
Yeah.
single year.
They're getting
More
and
Category
more
5s
dangerous.
than ever. And the main one I wanted to talk about, of all the reasons, reasons as to why this is dangerous, is ocean acidification.
Big negative.
Big negative.
So is that what it sounds like?
Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
And so just a little statistic, the acidity of the surface ocean waters has increased by about 30%.
Oh,
So what causes that? One, obviously all the trash we're putting in there, not helping by any means.
Mhm.
But a lot of it's the carbon dioxide in the air,
Ah.
right? Making its way down into the ocean,
Yeah.
getting in there, raising the pH. And it's incredibly dangerous. It kills a bunch of fish, a lot of life that actually filters out CO2 in the air won't be able to live in the water. It's too acidic,
Hmm.
which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of CO2 filtering, I guess you could say, done by the planet is done by microorganisms living on the surface
Mhm.
of the ocean, or known as plankton. You can actually see them from space. It's a pretty wild video. I'll pull up
Yeah.
a picture for you in a minute. But like, if those things die, that's It's kind of our biggest defense against the CO2 problem.
Ecosystems are very sensitive.
Yeah. But luckily there's like a team called I believe it's Ocean. What is it? Oceanic.
Ocean Boys.
Ocean Boys.
Ocean Boys cleaning up some
But there's
ocean
there's a team of people where they're trying to clean up the ocean, and they're predicted to have it cut down by up to 40% or 90% by 2040.
Whoa.
With this new means that they have. It's this basically what it is. It's a giant net that all it does is it floats with the ocean currents and captures trash within it. Right.
2040.
2040, they think they're going to be able to cut it down by 90%.
That is huge.
Is that enough time?
That's a huge projection for sure.
But the only way that projection can come true, and I should find their website just as like a little shout out for them, but the only way that projection can come true is if they have people donate. So they need like massive companies like Facebook, or even like restaurants too. So like Chick-fil-A could have their own barge out on the ocean that just collects the cups that they kind of
Why
throw
not?
into.
Oh my
Why
God.
not?
But it makes sense, right?
Listen,
Because the upkeep for it is basically nothing. The biggest expense is actually fuel, getting to and from the places and transporting all the plastic back.
You just
land.
fucking leave it there.
Yeah, but that's a huge percentage, and with teamwork, dude, that is totally doable.
Oh,
I think
100%.
so.
I feel
90%
like
is a huge percentage.
if they had over 100 companies sign on and do that, I think it would be done sooner than 2040.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The biggest problem after that is what are we going to do with all this trash?
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to recycle it or reuse it one way or another.
Shoot it off into space.
I
The
know how to
majority
get
of
rid
it you
of-
can't. That's what I was thinking. Honestly,
Shoot it off into fucking space.
I was
bro.
thinking about that. Like, I don't know how much the Falcon 9 or Falcon 5, whatever it's called, by Elon can take into space. But if it can take multiple tons into space, that might be a viable solution as to getting rid of some of the trash.
Yeah.
But there's so much of it to go around.
If you want to get rid of 90% of trash, I recommend starting with deleting TikTok. Because, yeah, that is
Hey,
beyond trash.
Trump's doing that for you, so don't worry.
How much you want to bet that there are assholes out there that would be against that, sending our trash out into space?
A lot. Well,
Save the universe, bro.
because I mean,
No, dude, let the
what-
black hole do his job.
What's
You-
more? What's more wasteful? What's more wasteful than a rocket? Like in terms of using fuel, like what's more damaging to the environment?
Well, of
Almost
course.
no other form of transportation. It's probably the worst in terms
Yeah.
of hurting the
Well,
environment. But
I'm
like,
just arguing, like, if they were just against throwing the trash out into space.
well, what's even funnier to me is it's like if you're really that worried about it, right? If you don't give a shit where the trash ends up, all you have to do is take one of those rockets, get it into low Earth orbit, make sure it's moving fast enough so that when you open the bay where all the trash is, it's able to actually exit out through Earth's, or it's able to leave Earth's gravitational pull and just kind of drift off into space.
Yeah.
It's theoretical. Or if you
Or
want
it
to go
just
to
ends
the-
up burning into the atmosphere.
I was
and
going to
going-
say it's that or that. Which another problem is space trash. That's a whole nother thing. Though.
Ugh. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. How's
it.
waste management going to get there, dude?
Well, they have.
So it's-
they got to get space trained and shit.
I looked it up, and roughly there's 2,000 active satellites in orbit,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's another 3,000 that we're not using.
God.
And then on top of that, all of this other space, all the other shit we've sent into space and just left up in orbit, it's just circling around the
Yeah,
Earth.
a
I
big
bet you
problem.
100% there's still a Big
Down.
Mac up there somewhere. Just
A
floating.
perfectly intact
Yeah,
Big Mac.
A Whopper
floating.
wrapper.
Yeah, that's
what the
Whomper.
fuck?
Whomper.
Whomper.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
So I mean, we've been talking about
That's-
this doom and gloom shit.
Yeah,
So
so,
what are-
what's the outcome of if we keep this up and we keep destroying Earth? What is like the worst case scenario?
We die as a species.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be
Yeah, that'd be tight.
that'd be tight, bro. That
Jesus
sounds
Christ.
dope,
sick.
right? Because that never happens. We just die as a species.
What if it has happened and we just
Never
don't?
happened.
What if it
Well,
has happened and we
dinosaurs.
just didn't know about it?
You're right. There's a lot of undocumented shit.
You're a true philosopher.
Just
Fuck.
an idea, right? I mean, how long can a pair of bones really last in the ground?
Damn fool, Logan Watts.
Decent
Majority.
amount of time.
I mean, the majority of bones from dinosaurs and stuff like that turned into oil, right?
Yeah.
Over
Fossil
a lot
fuels.
after enough time. There's just heat and compression turned their bodies into jelly
Wait,
that
hold
we
on,
use to
hold on.
power our cars.
Why do you think they call it fossil fuel?
You're not wrong though. Like actually, that's
No, it's
that's
very
why it's called
true.
that. Bunch of organic plant matter and dinos.
Dinos.
Power our
Chicken
car.
nugget dinos.
Our cars run on dino nuggies.
Yeah.
But
You know it's gonna be a
If you're
great
just
Sunday
fucking
night.
digging for fossils and you just see dinosaur nuggets. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
So fried.
What do you think it's called? Shell gas station.
So yeah, worst case scenario is human life as we know it ends.
Yeah.
Most likely scenario is we adapt to it, and some of us suffer, or all of us collectively suffer because we have to deal with the climate.
everybody collectively will.
Yeah,
I think my
Because-
kids will have to suffer.
Because
but
I think if the Earth changes,
My
if
kids
the
will-
average temperature of Earth changes by just 2 degrees Fahrenheit,
makes a huge
Yeah.
difference.
we're screwed. Like it's not going to
So-
be good. A lot of farms are going to fail. A lot of other stuff's going to go down.
So here's the thing: people might actually think that solutions are pretty complicated.
Yeah.
but they're not.
No, they just take time.
We have simple solutions.
We have relatively simple solutions that we think could work in theory, but getting them implemented is the real problem.
Yeah,
Actually getting governments on board
Yeah,
to be with this.
so like all the legal shit, basically.
mm-hmm.
But we think we've come up with a few ideas that might be viable, maybe not to fully counteract the problem, but to minimize it greatly, right? So, my idea from the beginning, the get-go, was microalgae. Why not use the thing that's known to filter CO2 the best to filter CO2, right?
Shocker.
Well, it turns out that it can be not super duper expensive, but enough for people to be worried about costs,
Mhm.
right? Even though there's a lamp that a French biologist built, or a molecular biologist built, and it has a bunch of mitochondrial plankton in it, if I remember correctly. I forget what type of plankton off the top of my head. But it has a bunch of these plankton microalgae in it, and they're filtering CO2. And one lamp, which would be roughly like the circumference of this table, is the base, and then the height of it comes up to be about 3-4-ish feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the circumference, the lamp itself is the circumference of like a large ball,
Yeah.
I guess you could say. That did more for filtering CO2 out of the atmosphere than one of those giant redwood trees does down. Do you remember the
Really?
ones that we went to? Yeah.
Sequoia.
Holy shit.
It does more in 1 year than those giant redwoods do.
That's actually astonishing.
Yeah.
Sequoia is
So-
a redwood tree, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sequoia.
No, the
Yeah,
tree is
redwood tree.
called a redwood.
Yeah, but where would you find those?
Oh, sorry, in the sequoias.
The sequoias.
Not just the sequoias, right?
Not just the sequoias,
Yeah.
no. But actually, I think they're only in California,
Only in
if
California.
I remember
Damn.
correctly. Yeah.
We have our
So-
own species of.
Yeah, I know,
trees.
right?
That's
And they're
dope.
the biggest and the baddest, except for the
We
ones
got the
over
sequoia.
in the Amazon.
Sequoias, bro.
We got the sequoias.
Sequoias.
But that one lamp, which is pretty much nothing in comparison to the size of that tree, it does more than that tree. So I'm like, why don't we just build a filter that's as big as that tree? Or like maybe even half the size. You could do an entire forest with one giant filter.
You can make it look however you want.
Exactly.
You can make
Right.
it into a park or some shit. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And it ended up being relatively expensive in the long run.
Yeah.
It's not mainly because of maintenance. It's just installation costs would be too much for a lot of people to want to consider, even though it's not like that expensive,
Mhm.
right? They just rather put it into other shit, which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, imagine on every overpass, if you had a system running over that just all it does is filter CO2, you're putting it in a hot spot to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does a plant need for food, or in order to create food?
Water. And sunlight.
Sunlight, carbon dioxide, or sorry, water, carbon dioxide, using light as energy,
Mm-hmm.
turns into oxygen and glucose
Mm-hmm.
for the plant, right? So food and the byproduct is something we can breathe. So why not put an installation of these microalgae filters on every overpass in California for that could realistically afford it, right?
Yeah.
Think about how much help you'd be doing just by doing that for starters.
Or better yet, we just plant more fucking trees.
That too. But the problem with that is that takes time.
Yeah.
It would take years before they grew to a point where they'd be efficient enough, like
Okay.
Yeah.
20 to 50 years realistically.
Yeah. We wouldn't really
Gotcha.
benefit out of it if we were to.
no,
plant it now.
we kind of need it right now. Like,
Yeah. Which is still isn't a bad idea because you'll never know. You're still playing with time.
we're not saying don't plant trees. Like,
Forget planting trees.
no, plant the trees.
But that's not the quickest solution.
Exactly. So you have that, and then I did more research online, and I was unaware of how much CO2 is actually in the atmosphere, and it's staggering. Like, those filters wouldn't really do that much in the long run. They would help the region, but not really the globe as a whole.
Yeah.
And it'd just be too much after a point. So we came up with a second idea. What is one of the main resources that we have? It's a huge industry across the globe, and it causes damage in the places that actually help us the most in terms of filtering CO2.
Wait, repeat that?
What
I
industry?
was just like, what the fuck?
What industry collects a resource in regions across the world? It's a global industry, right?
The logging industry?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're correct, right? We cut down all these trees in the Amazon, all of these trees all over California, and we're left with a really big defense in terms of getting rid of CO2 out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So one of the main things we saw was jungles or tropical forests absorb CO2 at a higher rate than like the woods that we have out here in California. And I think it has something to do with the climate and like just they prefer the heat and humidity, and so that they function at a higher pace. Perhaps I couldn't really find any specifics as to why. I just know that they do. So we're cutting down the Amazon, right, at a rapid rate, one of the biggest tropical rainforests we have in the world.
One of the most beautiful places on the world.
One of the most fascinating places on the planet.
Still haven't been.
And it's one of our greatest defenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, okay, what resource could we use to replace wood? Like, what would be a good alternative? And for me, the thought was bamboo.
Immediately. Yeah.
Bamboo's great. I mean, you use it in everything from your chopsticks at a takeout place to all the way you can build houses out of it. You can build buildings out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, how would this even be a realistic option? We Googled around, and it turns out bamboo isn't actually a wood. It's considered to be a grass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you have the bamboo shoot, but you also have... Does it have leaves that come out from it?
Yes.
Okay. Because I've only seen the shoot. I don't remember seeing leaves.
They have leaves on it that are actually other little shoots that are just stemming out, and that's usually like when you see a panda munching on some bamboo, they're chewing on like the leaves.
I do remember
and
what it
stuff.
looks like, yeah.
But we're like, all right, bamboo. Seems like a good idea,
Yeah.
right? Like, is this actually a viable option? Some species of bamboo grow up to 35 inches a day.
Damn.
That's an inch shy of 3 feet a day of material. And that's one plant.
35 inches a day?
Yes.
That must be, you can literally see it grow then.
Yeah. You could kick back any lawn chair with a 6-pack and watch a bamboo shoot grow roughly 3 feet in one day. It's possible.
That's so trippy
That's
to think
so
about.
down.
And that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest problems people that have bamboo farms run into is just taking care of them because they grow so damn fast,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, it grows like a weed. Literally, it's a grass. Like,
Yeah.
in a sense, it's not a weed, but similar. My point is, grows fast as shit. It's unbelievably strong, depending on which species you choose to go with.
Yeah.
In some cases, can actually be stronger than mild. What did they refer to it as? It could be stronger than some forms of steel, depending on what wood you choose to go with, or bamboo. I should say which bamboo.
Bamboo.
I'm not going to say wood. It's not wood, but
Grass.
depending on which bamboo you choose to go with,
Grass.
it can be stronger than some forms of steel, and it's unbelievably flexible. So it's a great building material.
You hear that?
Then I did hear that the AC turning on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always feels like an earthquake.
Literally. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Last week was a freaking vacuum in the hall.
Like, it's amazing to me how we have resources like this available,
Yeah.
and we're just
still
like,
don't know what to do with it.
nah,
Or
fuck
we
that.
just
We'll
don't-
do
yeah.
this.
We don't make
Oh.
moves.
We don't.
Yeah. We don't go with the smart choice. We go with the second smart choice.
Yeah.
Not even the second. It's like the 13.
Well, that gets
from
into
the-
like the corruption of government, all that
13.
stuff.
Oh, actually, dude, it's just the process of things takes so long that the first idea will never work anymore. Right? Because you need a speedy solution. So if you're gonna have to go through
Mhm.
government and get that signed, and then take 3 years, 4 years, within those 4 years, you could have done step number 13.
Dude, it's
For
not that
example. Or
it's not even that it just takes a long time. It's that there are very powerful companies who don't want this to happen. So they will do everything in their fucking power.
Because
They'll throw money at it because at the end of the day that hurts their pocketbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, if you're the head of a company like that, you have what's called a fiduciary responsibility. Or basically, yes, literally.
Where's my fidouche?
It's your fiduciary responsibility, which means you're making sure that your investors' money is going to be safe or at least well spent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do everything you can in order to make the company grow. And if saving the planet's counterproductive to that, they're going to do everything they can to stop that from happening, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind
It's
of
insane.
it's an effed up thought. But some other things about
I'm coming for all the oil companies, by the way. We'll destroy all of you.
two final things about bamboo that we
Exxon.
found that I thought was crazy.
Mhm.
If you go to Home Depot and you do a price comparison on bamboo flooring in comparison to traditional wood flooring, options are around $2 to $4 per square foot for the bamboo
Mhm.
and $4 to $6 for the wood.
Wow.
So it's cheaper than normal wood.
So bamboo isn't even wood, but it still acts as a wood because of its material.
It's kinda. It's like a faux wood.
It's like a
It's
hybrid.
like a flexible.
It's a hybrid. That's like
that-
the best
yeah.
way to describe
It's
it.
like a
It's a
hybrid.
flexible wood. That's what it
Yeah.
seems like.
And it can
Yeah.
be strong as hell.
looks beautiful,
Stronger than
Yeah,
wood.
it really does.
And lastly, the biggest reason why we're like bamboo over any other type of material is it can actually filter CO2 30% more efficiently than normal trees.
That's a great pro right there.
That's a pretty big pro. In
Yeah.
fact, that's the biggest pro that we have for our argument.
I am an
Really?
advocate that we create Bamboo City.
Bamboo
Just all bamboo.
It'd be pretty rad though. Could you imagine?
Like don't you ever remember walking like on a sidewalk or whatever and whatever the place has, they have rows of bamboo next to the sidewalks. So it basically covers your entire view.
hmm
It's one of the most awesome things to experience.
It's super rad.
Yeah, it's a different kind of aesthetic. If it's like straight bamboo, but I'm assuming like flooring would be kind of like textured or patterned, right?
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
the material for that.
Sorry, I thought some people might find this interesting. One of the highest tensile strength of steel is 24,000 psi. The tensile strength of bamboo, 28,000 psi.
Whoa,
Goddamn.
that pressure though.
Goddamn.
That
It can
add
take it.
That's crazy.
It can take it, and it comes in all different colors and types, and it's so
Yeah.
You know,
vibrant.
the solutions. Let cows shit. Let cows roam.
Mm-hmm.
plants and
Transition
things.
to electric
Yeah.
for vehicles.
We need to figure out batteries first.
Okay.
before
What's
we
your
do that.
recommendation for like average individuals that want to make a difference?
That want to make a difference? Well, the first one and this one is one that everybody hates, but
Don't be an asshole.
you got to use public transport. We have to up public transportation.
Don't be a simp.
You can't have just millions of cars driving around every day and
Mhm.
expect for a change to happen. It's just not.
Yeah,
going
it's not gonna
to.
happen.
Uh-huh.
So that way, what we do now is we change our cars.
Yeah, and
Batteries.
at least in the U.S., you have to change your cars because, like, here in California, everything's so damn far apart.
We're
from
beginning
one
to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's slowly changing.
The question is, do we have enough time?
We need to change the battery material though,
Yeah, lithium,
it's like-
from lithium to the
because
other
lithium's so bad to mine
grade. Yeah.
out of the earth. It's horrible. So that's why these sodium batteries need to make a play ASAP.
Mhm.
And then, we could just take all the salt we need from the earth or from the ocean, which could help reverse some of the acidity that's actually happening
Yeah.
in there, which would be nice.
Can't
But-
wait for that.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
dude, hell yeah.
I was actually reading up about some of those batteries, and there's one that there's a system that they have. They're called solid state batteries,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah.
And one of the systems it used this concoction that they call battery butter,
What?
and it sits in between an anode and a cathode in this space, and it transfers electricity. It's able to retain it very well. But the biggest problem they're having with solid state batteries is that due to the heat exchange that happens, these batteries expand and contrast drastically
Oh, okay.
in comparison to like normal batteries that we have.
Hmm.
So you have to figure out, how do we keep that stable?
Yeah.
How do we not?
We'll
It can't. Yeah, it shouldn't be able to retract.
Or it shouldn't be able to grow.
Yeah.
Period. Because I mean, like, imagine that in a car. You're putting those batteries into a space where they literally are going to be unable to grow,
Mhm.
and if they don't, they're going to get too hot and explode.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, we don't want it.
yeah, you're gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah. 13 Teslas exploded this evening with what the hell? Yeah. Upon release. Like
Everybody's like, oh, at least the number's going down.
still worth a deposit though.
Guess they're figuring it out.
I guess other than that, you just recommend that people live like a minimalist lifestyle.
Try to conserve shit. I'm not like,
Don't be a Nazi
say,
about it. Just
yeah,
just be
tell
conscious.
people tell people about it. Just get informed and inform.
yeah, get informed, but don't be a dick when you're trying to. Just be like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
you know. And if the person's not into it, they don't want to hear it. Maybe they're having a rough day. Save it for another
Yeah.
time. Save that conversation. for
Excuse
another
me,
time,
are you
but, like,
still driving a diesel vehicle?
Don't become a climate change
Yeah.
evangelist,
Oh my
please.
God, no, screw that, dude. Go on like
Although-
solo protests on the weekends.
If you really want to try to make a small change,
Solo protest. Your dumbass is just
Yeah,
standing on the corner.
if you really want to try to make a small change, though, my greatest recommendation would have to be, and I'll send Saeed the link to put in the
Yes,
description
please.
for YouTube or for the YouTube video, but you can actually build those microalgae CO2 filters at home for like
Aha.
$8 to $10.
Really?
Oh yeah, they cost
Okay.
almost nothing to build.
Does it take a trip to like a certain store? Or
You could probably get everything you need on Amazon.
okay.
I mean, yeah, you could go to a store, but
Probably like Home Depot, I'm guessing.
yeah, Home Depot
Yeah.
would probably have it.
Yeah.
You might need to go to a fish store or like a pet supply store.
Home Depot actually has their own section.
You're
called-
laughing, but there's still people that are like just don't trust online.
No. Home,
Yeah, I don't
no.
think
I'm
everything
talking
can be
about Home
online,
Depot.
Oh, okay.
They have their own section in the store called the Save the Planet section.
no way.
Are
And
you
then you can-
serious?
I swear to God.
Oh, yeah,
You go through the back. You go through the back door, and they have a little entrance underground.
Oh,
Save the planet. They walk you out to the trash can. That's what
Save the planet.
They should though. Why don't they? Like
I don't
little
know.
things you can put around your house that actually like help filter CO2.
Save the
That
planet.
is a
section.
wonderful idea. Why don't you go pitch that to Home Depot?
I will, and I will make millions of dollars.
All right, I'll drive.
All right. for sure.
Yeah, everybody hop in the Prius.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Other than that,
Oh, actually, another one is if you really want to push it to the extreme,
Mhm.
get a hybrid car as of right now, in my opinion.
hybrid.
The electrics, in terms of their battery productions, are too damaging to the environment, realistically.
Garbage.
Right now, just because of literally just the batteries. Like, they cause the majority of the damage for the cars.
Damn.
But if you could get a used hybrid, honestly, I know they are ugly and everybody hates them, but the Prius, great car in terms of gas mileage efficiency. Don't trust anything Volkswagen makes. We all know how they are with CO2 emissions. Did you hear that the tune that they had on their diesel cars? Like, for anybody that doesn't know, Dieselgate that happened in.
Oh yeah, they're bastards.
But did you hear what actually happened during testing?
Mm-mm.
They ran the cars on such a lean mixture of gasoline that the engines barely turned over, or of diesel, excuse me. They barely turned over and were even running. And some estimates, they made roughly 70-ish horsepower under those tunes,
Yeah.
which is like a car from the 20s or the 30s, roughly.
Yeah.
And when they put them out onto the road, they just said, oh, fuck that. And they took the tunes off, and then they're super inefficient. Dump out, I think it was like 7 times as much CO2 than they were projected.
Just
to put out.
assholes, bro.
Just dicks. You know who also did the same thing and nobody talks about? Because they wrapped themselves in a American flag blanket and just said freedom, freedom. Like, it was Harley Davidson. They did
Really?
this. Yeah, they did the same thing with their motorcycles, and they just paid a small fee, and then they said America, and they got let off the hook.
God damn.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, they got almost no backlash for
That's
that.
actually so funny, dude.
Volkswagen caught all the heat.
VW, very whack.
Very whack indeed.
Ford, found on the road dead.
Volkswagen. Very
Volkswagen.
Very wacken.
Very vac. Pretty sure this ends it for the Save the Planet
Does it end
episode
it, or
of the
does it
2 a.m.
Send it.
No, it saves it. Well, you know where to find us. YouTube, please, baby. Comment, subscribe, like. Leave us a review, if anything. We'd love to hear it.
5-star review,
Yeah.
please.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, and many more coming to you. We shall see you next week on episode number 48. You know what to do. leave us a review on iTunes. We'd appreciate it. And DM us some questions.
Please.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it popping.
We want to do a viewer question episode soon.
Yes.
Very, very soon.
And with that note, I will leave you off with goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been Saeed.
Goodbye.
This has been Logan.
And this has been Zayd.
Thank you for joining us at El Stew, aka Area 51. We'll see you next time on episode 48.
Yes.
Peace.
Yes. Peace.
Aha.